Hey guys, what's up? My name is Arnold. Welcome back to another week of comic book hauls. Hopefully, this last week was it last week or a week and a half ago? I can't remember. Time is kind of smushed together. Right here in Michigan, it's the transitioning from summer to fall. For the past month, we had like 60 to 70 degree weather. And then all of a sudden, for the last 2 weeks, we had like 90 plus weather. I'm like, oh my God. Now we're dropped back down to 60s. So right now it's like almost high 60s today. And, during that time, I usually catch a sinus cold. Sometimes, I don't know. It's just one of those kind of weird times where I feel like crap. Can't figure out why, and it's the weather. But anyway, today is Saturday as I'm filming this. Hope you guys had a good week. I had a very decent week. Last Monday was Labor Day, so I had that day off. Then Tuesday, I had a doctor's appointment with my kidney doctor. Everything's going good with that. So I had that whole day off and trying to get some stuff done around the house. And trying to get things prepared for what I'm trying to do. There's a big project I'm trying to do before the end of winter. So by January, my bedroom will look totally different. Now, what do I mean by that? Most likely, these figures that you see right here will not be here in my room. They'll be in my storage unit. It's getting to the point where my collecting is went so out of hand that I don't have spots to put it, and I have a perfectly good storage unit which I have to clean out and throw out some things. I have to clean out and throw out some things, and you know how that goes. And then what happened is all my figures that I don't want in my house is going to be going. So basically, pretty much 90% of all the figures that you see on this wall is going to be gone in put in my storage unit by the end of the year. That's the goal. That's the plan. I want to try to make that happen. I got three things. Three things which I'll open up here. Ooh, that's kind of neat. I'll open up this live. And that way I can put majority more of my comic books back in the basements where I think they should go. A lot of other stuff is going to go to my storage unit, and so big undertaking, big task, and am I going to make it happen? I'm going to try to make it happen, but we always try to do things, and sometimes it don't happen the way we do. All right. Also, the past couple weeks, I've been opening up a lot of figures. Didn't film it all. I just opened it up to take a look at some things. I opened up. Made them shorts, so you probably saw a lot of shorts recently from me, and those are figures I just opened up instead of doing a full-blown video. I just say, hey, make a short and be done with it. But anyway, let's get started. First, we got Dawn of DC Fire and Ice #1. I don't know. One of my stores said this is the pick of the week. So I'm like, okay, we'll see. Next, Silver Surfer Rebirth. Rebirth Legacy. Kind of interested in this one. Ron Mars. Damn. What's his name? Ron Lim. A very classic comic book artist. Returning back to form. Marvel got him back. So Ron Lim there, and I think John. I can't remember. Or whatever. We got Star Wars Dark Droids, which, okay. Black Panther #4. I'm actually liking Black Panther now. I'm actually liking it. Maybe because Al Ewing, he's writing it. He's the guy who wrote Immortal Hulk, which made Hulk really more popular these days. So that's kind of cool. And he's doing Immortal Thor right now, which I haven't read yet. And I did read a bunch of comics. I really sure did. I've been trying to pare that down so that way I can do something with that. This one I thought was interesting. Master of the Universe, Forge of Destiny. Very interested in see how that is. Next we got Heat Seeker #3, Gun Honey series from the Gun Honey series. This series right here has taken the comic book world by storm. Gun Honey is classic pulp stuff. And it's really good. Really, really good. If you get a chance. It's not Cutie Honey it's not like Cutie Honey, the anime, but it's Gun Honey. Next we got Immortal X-Men #15. I just like this cover of it. And now I'm kind of glad Jason Hickman, about 3 to 4 years ago, redid the X-Men to make them a super powerhouse. And now they're going back to status quo of being hunted and hated. Love that. Finally. X-Men going back to form. Next is Moon Knight 27. Still haven't read 25 yet. Last but not least, Amazing Spider-Man 33. So instead of Spider-Man being hunted by Kraven, he's becomes a hunter of Kraven. So I'm kind of interested. I'm very, very interested in that one. Okay. Oh my goodness, where's that at? All right. So let's open these up live. I don't remember what I haven't. I don't remember exactly what I ordered, but it's derp. Okay. 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 All right. Love the packaging. Gemini cover. Love that packaging. Love it when sellers package stuff very well to where they want to make sure that their product. I remember one person I bought from, they just threw everything in a bag and just, here you go. And I was like, luckily there wasn't. Luckily, I was like, ooh, but I didn't mind it that much because those books wasn't really all that. I mean, they're good books. And I showed them to you already. It was like, I think it was G.I. Joe. By the way, I have been watching a lot of YouTube lately. And of course the G.I. Joe, the Hasbro channel for G.I. Joe. Been watching it. Okay, I remember what this one is. Very good, very good, very good. Very good. So, this weekend I'm going to finally watch The Flash. and Black Adam. I know a lot of people already saw it already, and people have mixed reviews. People say, "Oh, that movie sucked because of it," and the Rotten Tomato score was this, and the Rotten Tomato score. I don't care about Rotten Tomato. Every time when the critics say that this is a bad movie, I love it. If I watch that movie, that is. But anyway, now this what happened. This book right here is a book that I never had, but I had to reprint. So what happened was way back in the day when I was about, was it 5, 6, 7, 8, somewhere around that time, Marvel Comics reprinted comics. They reprint comics. You know, like for example, nowadays they do second and third printings. But back in the day, they used to do that for like some of their popular comics. And what happens, they reprinted it and repackaged it under Marvel Tales. So what happened is Marvel Tales was like a reprint of a comic from way back when. And a lot of times they feature Spider-Man, sometimes X-Men and stuff like that. And if I remember correctly, but don't count my memory too well. But I got the Marvel Tales of this, and I know I saw it about a couple months ago. I said, oh, I remember this when I was younger. And that's the hilarious part was, when you see this, you'll understand what I mean. And I'll tell you the significance of this. If my memory serves me correctly, which it doesn't all the time. But here we go. Amazing Spider-Man number 92. This book, this is the first time I actually had the actual book in hand. But I had the Marvel Tales version of this. And the funny thing about it, as soon as I found this Marvel Tales book of this, Amazing Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends started airing on TV. So I thought that was pretty neat. So this next one came from this place called Quality Comics. I mean, their own Gemini mailer. So usually when I see something like that, it makes me say, oh, you know what, I might order from them again, because this is quality right here. And it even says do not bend either. Even though it says do not bend, you know, mail. Now, if any of you are mail carriers, if anybody who's watching is a mail carrier, don't worry. I'm not dogging you, but you know what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. But anyway. Okay. Okay. Now this is okay. That means I know what the next book is, which is fine. Now this right here is a very old book. I found this and I was like, oh, I kind of want this because it has one of my favorite villains. This is Avengers 23, the first appearance of Kang. Well, not the first appearance of Kang, but like the second or third appearance of Kang the Conqueror. The first appearance I do want, and believe me, that's a kind of a pretty penny right now. And you know, pretty pennies are hard to come by these days. So now we go to the last book. And this book right here, this book has eluded me for years. And what I mean by that is that I always wanted it at a very good price. I always wanted this book at a really good price, but this book has eluded me. And I mean, it's like every time when I saw this book, it was way too much. Way too much. Way too much. So, finally I found it at a price that I like, and I pulled the trigger on it. Now, one of the things is that this cover has been homaged so many times, and this is one of the most famous book comics in the past 30 to 40 years. People still talk about it to this day. And what comic book is that? G.I. Joe 21, The Silent Issue. This is supposedly this is like a 4.0, and this is how much I paid for it. Others, I mean, I could have got better versions, but they wanted like over $200 for it. But this, I don't mind it. This is one book that I never ever had, because back in the day, for G.I. Joe, I had to go to 7-Eleven to pick it up. There wasn't comic book stores at that time, or if there was, they're very few and far between. But I had to ride my bike up to 7-Eleven every week to see what they had, and by the time I get there, sometimes G.I. Joe was gone, sometimes it wasn't. But this is right here, The Silent Issue. I've been looking for this for years, and I finally got it for a decent price. And it's not the best condition, which is fine, but it's a condition that I can deal with and I can pay for it. And with that, that is it for this week. If you notice, I am wearing my reading glasses the whole time, so that way I can actually read what I'm talking about instead of looking at this. Because, like, you know, when I go to the store, I don't have my glasses with me, and I'm like, and the pictures kind of tells me what's going on. It's like, oh, okay, and the big letters, of course. But anyway, hopefully everything goes well for you. Hope you had a great weekend, and you know what? I hope to see you very soon.